It's time for the greatest little internet radio show, Blow the Whistle. Always live on SportsSoundChicago.com and on Twitch at SportsSoundShot. Tyler, Butterball, Beaverball.
I knew this kid was going to be a complete mess, a youth mess. Not mess. See, I think he needs to go to Allstate because when you're covered by mayhem, you'll be better protected.
Andrew, Pepe, Valentin.
How can you say that high school's sports is not about business when the IMG Academy, who is supposed to be a legitimate high school, goes for $1.25 billion? Game time.
David, Double D, Dykstra.
Hope and pray to God that Jordan Love twists his ankle so bad that you get to see this godforsaken mess that is Sean Mother Trucking Clifford.
Nick, No Gimmicks, Johnston.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I mean, Josh Allen had the same stat line as Lamar Jackson. You're not getting him any fuss. He literally has one less touchdown than Lamar Jackson, and you're not saying anything.
Tyler Beaterball, Andrew Valentin, David Dykstra, and Nick Johnson. Your greatest little internet radio show everywhere you go.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is Blow the Whistle here on SportsSoundChicago.com, YouTube, and Twitch. As always, I'm Tyler Butterball Beaterball. I'm along with my friend
Andrew Pepe Valentin.
And I'm going to kind of show you guys. That's it.
Yeah.
We are David-less and Nick-less for today. They got their stuff going on. David Jobs, that man's got like 5 jobs, he was telling me.
Well, welcome to the club.
I know.
Like, I don't know.
Now
like, yeah,
he knows what it feels like. So
exactly.
he's out doing his thing. But we are back. We apologize. I said in our on our post that we did not have a show last week. We had some technical difficulties on Monday and then just unavailability on Friday. So we're hopefully to get back on routine and be consistent from here on out because we are in the depths of football season.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can call it hell. You can call it whatever you want. Bears fans, yeah.
It all depends on your perspective.
Yeah, I mean.
And your team.
That's why there was some things that made some teams want to go to hell. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It felt like hell.
Some got propped up.
And some got knocked down.
Yeah, well.
Or tipped into the end zone.
Some got beat in the face.
I woke up feeling like I got hit by a car.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But as you know, we are going to recap some football. We're going to kick it off with talking Bears from their game yesterday. We're going to go over the rest of the week 8 of the NFL, week 9 of college football, and then we're going to talk about the World Series because it's almost looking one-sided right now. And then if we have time, we're going to go off the rails. But first and foremost, let's talk about the unfortunate Chicago Bears lost to the Commanders 18-15. If you guys saw this was from a Hail Mary. Jaden Daniels threw it from their own 35-yard line. And as you can see from the picture that I posted, Tyreek Stevenson wasn't paying attention. But without that, Williams went 10 for 24, only 131 yards, no touchdowns. Daniels had himself a solid day, 21 for 38, 326 yards and a touchdown from that Hail Mary. But let's get right to the big part, the story into this game is if you guys saw the game, the Bears have a nice drive to get into the end zone after failing the last time of handing it off to your backup center. And then the Bears
Sorry.
Dude, you should have heard me in the studio when I saw that.
You gave me the
happen.
representation. I can only imagine what it would have been like live.
I think I tweeted like, you finally put Roschon Johnson in the backfield and that's what you do? Good Lord. But
sounds about right.
But the biggest takeaway and story from this game is the failed Hail Mary from the defense side of preventing from this happening. Andrew, just kind of where would you put the blame? Like, who's more to blame in here? Is it the defense not getting their assignment? Because there's both sides of the defense not being prepared and ready in their positions and doing their assignments. But then there's also the blame on Eberflus, where they had one timeout left, and after Washington got that short yardage gain to kind of get them in a better scenario to chuck a Hail Mary, that you had to one timeout and some players didn't look ready. Would you have used that timeout, or do you think it's at that point, like you felt like the team was prepared and ready to defend this?
I mean, definitely if you're looking over it, like I would have taken the timeout just to kind of give yourself a chance to kind of give those guys, give them a breather again. And it also, because like you think about it, like when it's not like kicking the football, but like we talk about like icing the kicker, right? Taking the timeout just before the kicker kicks the ball. Just kind of a crummy thing to do, by the way, but sometimes it works because the idea is that you're giving the kicker more time to think about what he's about to do, so that maybe he'll overcorrect or overthink it and he'll mess up, right? Like it sometimes has worked. Like you think about sorry, Bills fans, but you think about 1990 when the Bills are in their first Super Bowl, you've got the kick that goes wide right, like that. That came from a timeout from the Giants side where Scott Norwood probably maybe overthought it and overcorrected a little bit, and he misses it, right?
Yeah.
Now, this isn't a kick. Obviously, this is a throw. But you could have possibly put a young rookie quarterback. Yeah, Jaden's confident. He doesn't seem to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But if you think about it, how much is it weighing on him to say, I've got 6 seconds left, I got to throw this ball down the field, and I got to try and get in the end zone to win this game? Right? A field goal's not going to cut it now. You have to score to win that game. That's a lot to weigh on a young rookie, even as good as he might be, right? So your hope is maybe the timeout kind of throws him off and maybe he makes a mistake. As far as who's to blame on this, the football gods. Like this is this is mostly football gods. There's a part of it where you go, yes, but you have to make sure everybody's covered. And that's kind of where the Stevenson thing, like he's taunting the fans, and then you see the image of Bears fans being like, ball's been snapped. Like
they're like pointing and directing him, like,
dude, go. That is lack of attention. That's lack of detail. That's maybe a little bit of immaturity on his end too. He's a great athlete. He's a solid corner. He's great as the number 2 guy. He's what you need at that position, sure. But if you're going to be that late to the game, then you should be like the last line of defense where I'm not saying you look for it, but you should kind of be spying to see, is there anybody waiting in the back for if that ball, because that's the thing you have to think about now. Like I said this on X-Bomb Sports. Check it out every Monday and possibly Fridays, 10 o'clock a.m. usually, but today we went a little late.
Hashtag
plug. But I talked about this like 2018 and 2019. I saw 2 of the best Hail Marys I've ever seen. And the one that really surprised me was quarterback didn't have the strongest arm. He threw it short, threw it to the tallest wide receiver they had. He comes in, wide receiver comes up the field like 15 yards and then cuts in directly on a diagonal coming towards him. And as the big guy's going down, defense is swarming on him to stop him.
Yeah.
He just pitches the ball off to the dude, and the dude just goes up the field like 40 yards for a touchdown to win the game.
Yeah.
It was 2, like they weren't going to the playoffs, but it was like, we want to win this game because it was like their rivalry thing. And I was like, whoa, that's something.
Yeah.
But you've got to prepare for that now. You can't just be like, oh, the ball's just getting thrown up. Yeah, sometimes, but you have to be prepared for like, but what if the ball bounces this way? Or what if he catches it just short, but he's able to pitch it off to somebody?
Teams practice. It's literally called the tip drill.
Yes.
And it's literally where be prepared for even like it could
any
have been
situation.
And unfortunately, it was Tyreek Stevenson that tipped that ball. But it could have been even one of the Commanders' receivers that tipped that, and that's just they're practicing to tip it up,
right?
So
keep the ball alive, so somebody might be able to get it.
Exactly. And there was no one covering. Who was it? It was
Noah Brown.
No one was covering him.
Former Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Noah Brown. They could really use him right now.
Yeah, they can. But like. That's the problem. Like there was no one was understood their assignments. And then now I want to talk to you about this thing. And I found this really interesting. Was Danny Parkins posted this on Twitter last night.
And
it made a good point.
Yeah.
He showed the aerial graphic of like all the movement of each player. You had TJ Edwards sitting as like a spy for Jaden Daniels. Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
Because he's a mobile quarterback. But they're on the 40. They're 40-yard line.
Yeah.
Where the hell you think he's going to run I mean, he's got legs. Don't get me wrong, but
Right.
that's the last play. He's not going to try to and you have all your defenders back by the end zone.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to get past those guys. So for me, I kind of agree why he what Danny said on Twitter was you can have him spy for a little bit, but then once you're seeing that your defensive line's getting bullied and thrashed around,
Right.
you gotta just run in there and stop this guy because Jaden was running sideline to sideline.
Yeah, he was
getting all
looking
the
to
time
throw
in the
ball.
world.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's one of those things where, look, if you want to go into the spy situation and you want to make sure, but once you see that his intention is to sit back there and throw, and it certainly was, you go back there and you play that deep zone coverage against them to give them another body to cover, because guess what? That one body might have been enough to be able to say, hey, somebody go sit in the back of the end zone and cover whoever might pop out there to try and put that ball in the end zone or at least catch it, right? Because maybe he drops it, maybe he doesn't. Obviously, on this one, he got it perfectly, but this is a type of situation where even if he does scramble, TJ Edwards is fast enough and quick enough where he should be able to match up with him decently on a sideline to sideline basis. Now, yeah, Jaden Daniels is fast. Don't get me wrong. He's faster than TJ Edwards.
Right.
But to think that Jaden Daniels was going to sprint from the other 40-yard line where 4 defenders are going to be running after him from behind, one's going to be coming at him from up top in TJ Edwards, and then you've got, five other guys that are covering those dudes, and now they're going to chase him. He's not going to have anywhere to really pitch the ball unless the offensive line goes with him, which they probably would have. But at that point, you could have tackled one of those guys. The game's over with, and it's an ugly win, but you get the win.
Right.
And I don't know. That's again attention to detail, awareness, and that has to come from Eberflus as well. It's not a fail on his part. I don't even consider it really a fail on the defense's part either, because they had still a solid game.
No,
they didn't allow a touchdown until the end there. So.
No, exactly. They allowed him 4 field goals the entire game. The Bears were still in the game, so you can't really put the blame on all the defense. I mean, they played their asses off. They played very well.
They kept them in the game through and through.
It was just like you said, the football gods.
It's just one of those freak moments. So there's nobody really that I think should be taking the big blame. It's just okay. It happened.
It happened. Move on.
It is what it is. It's gonna come. It's gonna happen occasionally.
I will say I did not like about what Eberflus said post game was that they asked him about the play before that led up to, and he said that play doesn't really matter. It's sorry, dude, but every play matters, especially in a situation where it wasn't they're just trying to throw the ball to cover the spread,
right?
Which unfortunately they did, but more it's not you're up by 2 scores and they're just trying to throw something just for the hell of it,
Right.
But every play in that situation matters because that was a gain of 15?
Yeah, an extra 15 yards gave him that extra.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
You already know that you have a quarterback on the other side of your ball that has a hell of an arm.
Yes.
And clearly he showed that 15 yards, he was able to get it right to the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
And if someone would have caught that the first time, that would have been a touchdown either way. But that's where I hated that statement. I'm like, dude, this is every play matters in any game.
And that's the problem, is that in those last few seconds, if you make a big play like that and you put yourself in better field position, you're giving yourself that opportunity, because that ball gets tipped then, say you have an extra 15 yards of buffer. I know Brown can catch it and go in the end zone, maybe, but maybe he's not there to make that play because maybe you're too backed up all of a sudden. And now these guys are kind of scrambling a little bit more forward than they are towards in the end zone like those guys were. Because now you have to try and make a play from there. And now those safeties and DBs, they can all sit back a little bit further and say, even if they catch the ball, we just got to tackle them and bring them down.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
That's literally all that had to have been done.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Caleb Williams, his performance. We'll talk about the overall, the both rookie quarterbacks, but our boy King B-Max chiming in. What's up, B-Max?
What's up, B-Mac? Long time no hear.
He says it's definitely Bears fan hell. Fortunately, we're regulars here, so no big deal. And then he said Daniels had 13 seconds to throw on that Hail Mary, which is 2 lifetimes for NFL
That is
throws.
true. He had a lot of time.
100% true. It's way too much time. Granted, am I here and going to say that am I going to put the blame on the refs because there were some holding calls that should have been called and a block in the back? Yeah, it happened. But at the end of the day, in those situations, though, when it's when it's going to make the game interesting, the refs aren't going to call that.
No.
They want to see this possibility of a Hail Mary, because it's like, how horrible would that be to just kind of look that like, oh, the Hail Mary got called back because of a holding call. Like, that's no fun. Like, and that's the point where they're going to be like, let the boys play and stuff like that. But no, I mean, aside from all that, yes, no, Daniels shouldn't have had 13 seconds to throw that damn ball. Kind of like what I said about TJ Edwards should have just blitzed and not giving, because the defensive line was getting thrown around like rag dolls.
Right.
That you just got to add another set of pressure, because this Daniels is special, guys. He's got legs, and he's got the strong arm. So it was a lack of game planning, in my opinion. You had a whole extra week. Granted, you were off in that bye week, but the coaches should have done something different. But so going to we'll start with Caleb Williams. And like I said, 10 for 24, 131 yards. He had himself 10 carries for 41 yards, but not the performance that everyone was expecting, I think, because of his back-to-back very well performances coming off of a 4-touchdown game against Jacksonville in London. And so, but to me, what did you think about that? More of like, with seeing the digression from Caleb Williams, was it more of like, to me, the game planning and the offensive calling, it seemed like they were trying to run a different offense compared to what they have been before. You saw some up-tempo, but then they kind of started losing that, and then Caleb seemed like he was trying to audible too much, where it was they weren't getting the ball off in time. They had a couple of false or delay of games and stuff like that. So, I mean, just in the offense's perspective, where they weren't getting anything going, like, was that a Waldron problem right there?
Well, that's a good question, right? Is, who would be to blame on the offensive side? I think there's a little bit of both here. You can, you can argue one way or the other, because it's hard to tell like what was worked on during the bye week, because obviously you're trying to take the week off. You want to get guys recouped, rested, get them back for the game, right? But at the same time, you have an extra week now to prepare for an opponent that is coming up, that is playing very well. They're a young team. They're in their first year. They're trying to build something. They've got something going for themselves. So you need to be prepared for every possible opportunity that might be thrown at you. What I saw was, I think, a combination of maybe Williams and Waldron maybe kind of taking a little bit of taking this maybe a little bit too easy, potentially not being more aggressive. I look at their game plan and I thought there were times where you certainly could have executed better, but I don't think that they were necessarily maybe on the same page for this one. And I also have to give credit, though, to Dan Quinn, because he did a great job disguising certain blitzes and making sure that certain guys were covering over the top to take away a lot of the longer stuff. So then he had to throw more of the short stuff, making sure he had to check down to wide receivers, more in the short flats and the curls and things like that. So it was a lot of, I think, both the offense was not maybe running the same hilt that they were before. At the same time, though, the defense was forcing them to kind of work to a more simplistic level, because that's how Dan Quinn works. He does a great job breaking down, analyzing what you do at your best and figuring out your weakness and your tendencies and trying to eliminate those, or eliminate the tendencies and work on exploiting your weaknesses. And he did a solid job. It's just, I just think that this was like, Caleb had momentum. You kind of killed it by taking the week off. I get it. You have to take the bye week. You needed it. But this was kind of a thing where it's like, dude, he's riding a high. Now is the time where going into this game, it was needed. Instead, you're taking a week off and everybody kind of gets cool, and I think that kind of hurt him. Especially
not utilizing your number one wide receiver, DJ Moore.
Right.
More. But like that's been like the raising issue, is that you just paid this guy 4 years, $110 million,
right,
to be your franchise receiver and to be like the veteran to lead this your rookie quarterback, your franchise, to bigger and better places. And there's just no play design to get him the ball. That's the guy you need. Like, obviously we saw that towards the second half.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, we're just not seeing enough of that. I mean, I was glad to see that they got the run game going. That worked with
that
DeAndre
was terrific.
Swift.
But I think that was a ploy though too. Like they were like, okay, we're gonna take away your passing game because you've got all these receivers, Allen and Moore, and you got Adunze who really had a nice game there for himself. But
Yeah.
I think that was the plan: was give them the run, let them do what they want to do, and then at the end of the game, hopefully we've done enough work on them that they'll have to keep feeling like they're running the ball. They'll kill the clock on. Like it's the thing of like, yeah, you'll have more time with the ball, but they'll kill the clock on themselves. We'll score so rapidly they won't be able to keep up with us. They'll try to force a throw. They'll make it like that. That was, I think, the game plan.
Yeah,
give them run, let us get up ahead like 21-7 or whatever, which never happened. But like we get the lead, they feel like they have to throw now more. They throw some interceptions, they throw some bad balls. We take advantage of it. They win the game. Like I think that's what they were, but they never executed on offense. That was the problem until the end of the game. And that was the issue.
It was like a little too late at that point. Like you could have gotten yourself a nice early lead while the defense was holding their own. Before we get out of here, a couple comments from the dude 4223. Is that Nick?
I believe so. I think
okay.
Nick.
It's our boy Nick.
What's up, Nick?
He goes, optimistic side held this explosive offense to under 20 points. Pessimistic side, boneheaded coaching decisions. Not a lot of people talking about the no call on the hold on the play that set up the Commanders for the field position for the Hail Mary. Yeah, that is true. I kind of forgot about that play as well. So it's like, again, yes, there was
it's unfortunate
officiating.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, it's like it still happened, and that Hail Mary could have been preventable. It sucks. And I mean, to me, this came down to just coaching. I think Matt Eberflus and his coaching staff got outcoached by Dan Quinn. I mean, we've known how well of a head coach Dan Quinn is. Yeah. And I mean, he's obviously there's a reason that the freaking Commanders are 5-2 right now that no one expected.
Right.
But that wraps up our Bears talk today, and we're just gonna go in hibernation until next Sunday as they play the Cardinals. They in Arizona? They are in Arizona. So that goes because they have not won a game.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
me that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
Ooh, that beat like snuck up on me a little. That was nice. Hey,
it's a little bit of my DJing skills there too.
Oh yeah, you got Andrew Pepe Valentin on the flipping tracks over there. You got Tyler Butterball Beautiful over here with you on Blow the Whistle and SportsTownChicago.com's YouTube and Twitch. We just talked about the Bears, and we're all in hibernation. I don't know why I'm wearing my hat today, but it's a new hat, so it looks cool.
I like it.
Thank you, dude. It's corduroy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fuzzy.
Oh,
it kind of
nice.
throws me off though, because I went to go grab it. I'm like, crap. Now I gotta be careful. Like if I got like my little Dorito dust fingers.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
stick and get it all gross and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I gotta be safe.
Gotta wash those hands, folks.
Gotta wash them or just lick the dust right off. You know what I mean? Get a little flavor.
Yeah, there you go.
As you heard,
And I'm saving these for later. Sorry,
I'm saving it for later. That's when I put on my hat, and then I can just lick my hat. All right, let's talk football. If you guys obviously know, this is Blow the Whistle. You guys can follow us on all of our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Blow T Whistle 1. That's BLOWTWHISTLE 1. And all of our podcasts are posted on every podcast platform. Not even mention Quad Pod because they don't exist. But you can find them on every other podcast platform. You didn't get one last week because we didn't have a show last week. I mean, that's why we are here today. But right now, we are going to recap and do a little preview for tonight's game of NFL Week 8. And I want to start off with the Browns beating the Ravens 29-24. Grant, if you are listening, sucks. But
damn.
But Jameis Winston gets the start. And what do you know? The Browns get a win.
Yeah, of
and you know what's crazy? Not only does he already look better than your overpaid quarterback, Chocolate Starfish, the defense looked way more alive. The whole team looked way more alive. You know why? Because you don't have a sicko like Starfish over there under center. I loved this game. This game was fantastic in my opinion. I mean, you got Jameis Winston leading the team, throwing some solid throws. Threw a little too much for 41, but I mean, hey, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But,
he did an excellent job. I mean, for a guy that had to just step in there pretty quickly. I mean,
we all
solid
Jameis is a
performance.
dog.
Yeah,
and he's a lovable guy, and so. But I mean, the Browns defense, they really they only held Derrick Henry with who's coming off of a fantastic year. And I keep saying every week that we were completely wrong about Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah, no, he's rewriting history right now in his own manner.
He's doing what LeBron's doing in that old age. He's getting better. And that's coming from me.
Yeah.
Saying nice things about LeBron.
Well, let's be fair. LeBron's not necessarily getting better. He's just maintaining a solid level of play. And that's, I think, what Derrick Henry's doing. Like, it's not about him really getting better. He's just maintaining a solid level of play. But I think the Ravens are just figuring out too.
And, it's not like the Titans where you have to beat up your freaking running back because you don't have a quarterback. So, I mean, at least they got...
you need to take 50 carries.
Exactly.
What now?
You are the team, okay, sir? So you're just going to get the ball, and then you're going to get the ball again, and then you better get in the end zone because you're going to get the ball the next play.
I'm leaving.
I quit. But no, I mean, just overall, the team, the Cleveland Browns looked way more alive.
Oh, yeah. They looked more like a team than ever before.
Exactly. And it comes down to who is under center because we've talked and mentioned before that you can see that the team does not like the starfish.
No, they can say all they want. Like even Jameis like came to his like little defense on Deshaun Watson. You know, he's put his body on the on the line and everything in his life. And okay, first off, this isn't a life-threatening injury. It's an Achilles tear. You can come back from it. Yeah, his career might be over. There's a chance of
and
that.
That's not even from the
stinks.
injury because he just
Right.
sucks.
Yeah, right. And look, it stinks, but yeah, he's not playing well. The injury is severe enough that he could not play again. Sure. But it's not a life for death. And I was critical of that, of course, but it's very clear from looking at how the team responds to Deshaun Watson, even though he's not really the vocal leader. And I think he understands he doesn't need to be, nor is he ever going to be elected as that guy
Right.
with him when he's that quarterback on the offense or on the defensive side. They can say whatever they want, but I bet anything years down the line, we'll hear from guys being like, look, respect to him because maybe he kept his mouth shut or whatever. Like he doesn't seem to be doing a lot of talking or anything.
No.
But I get a vibe that people are like, but I was not going to be messing with that dude one way or another. We weren't going to be friends. We were going to be hanging out no matter what. There was never going to be a point where he was going to mesh with this team because we don't trust him. Jameis, on the other hand, you can trust him.
He's a lovable dude.
He's corny. He's hokey.
Yeah.
Like I saw everybody said, they're like, man, that pregame speech, definitely he's going to be a great high school football coach one day. Listen, it's some corny stuff, but the guys at least can feel a little bit more loose with him. I think they can trust him. They get a better feel with him. And, you know, there's while controversy has stirred around Jameis, it's mostly in his past where unfortunately for Deshaun, it's all very recent.
Yeah.
It's still up front in him and it continues to keep coming back. And that's
like there's a new allegation like every month or so.
And that's the problem is that while court records will never say he's guilty, court of public opinion will say that he's guilty. And unfortunately, an independent arbitrator said enough evidence was there to suspend him for 11 games because it was, as she put it, egregious and predatory behavior.
Yeah, and I mean Stefanski's probably just licking his chops right now, just like
he's got to be the. I'm sorry, you can't. I've said it for what the last 2-3 weeks now, and I think we've all kind of just jumped on it. There's no way it's Stefanski saying, "Well, Deshaun's our quarterback."
No, not a shot.
That's Haslam going. We're paying him too much money. He's got to be the starter. I don't care how you feel about it. You got to stay there and say he's the guy.
Right.
And this was a blessing. I hate to say it, it's a blessing in disguise.
We hate injuries, but when you're a dirtbag, it's less to be
it doesn't
feel bad for.
It doesn't hurt when the guy is certainly not seeming like a good guy. Like you haven't rebuted anything. You've committed to your defense. You haven't been like, hey, look, I apologize for the situation. You know,
right.
You can maintain your defense, but still be somewhat apologetic that something happened.
And like what we've talked before, and we brought it up, and it was all I needed to see to show what the team thought of the starfish.
Yeah.
And was when he tried to lift up his offensive lineman and he slaps his hand away.
Yeah, get away from me. I don't want him. Yeah.
That's not a good look, pal.
Any sort of association with that guy, nobody wants it. Yeah, you'll celebrate with the guy if you catch a touchdown from him, but you can see it's the bare minimum.
It is.
It's a handshake, it's a head slap, and that's it. There's no real hard celebrating like you see with guys like Lamar or Burrow or Allen or any of those dudes.
No, there's no chemistry there whatsoever. Next game I want to talk about because I think it is pretty clear of who's winning the NFC North. The Detroit Lions stomp the Titans 52-14
in the South.
No,
in the AFC.
No.
That's pretty clear.
I mean, this is the thing. Like you can say it's the Titans, but the Titans, if you look, they have like the best defense in the NFL right now. And obviously, it was a sloppy first half for Detroit's defense.
Yeah.
But this is the thing about Detroit, man. Freaking Jared Goff only had 86 passing yards, but it just shows how many different ways this team can score. Like your two-headed monster in the backfield each had a touchdown. Gibbs, what the hell was I even saying? Gibbs, yeah, I don't know what the hell that was coming from. He had 127 yards on the ground. Even Montgomery, I mean, where'd he go? There he is. 33 yards on the ground. He even had a passing touchdown. Like, this is the thing about Detroit, man, is that they are finding numerous ways to score. And I don't know if you saw, but someone made a anytime touchdown parlay for the Lions to
I
score.
did see that. They added like,
5 or 6 different players, and they all hit. And I'm like, dude, this is pissing me off.
all the stars, and then it was Brock Wright, who was like the
backup tight
the
end.
last guy in. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, first off, I made the mistake of not doing an anytime touchdown parlay with all tight ends because, my God.
Yeah, happy National Tight End Day, everybody.
I think it was, I saw there was, how many was there?
It was 133 receptions, I think, by tight ends this week.
And like, no, it would have been like 40 seems a lot of touchdowns, but it was the most touchdowns scored by tight ends on National Tight End Day. It was ridiculous. Every tight end was getting in the end zone.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the Titans, first off, Mason Rudolph, I don't know where the hell that came from for a second. And I'm kind of mad that Calvin Ridley was sitting on my bench. But I mean, again, Detroit, that they're starting to come around. Like they had a little bit of a rocky start, not getting to the hot start, but I don't know, man. I think this is Detroit's division to lose, despite it all being tight.
They're figuring it out. Like you can see, their defense is not perfect, but their defense as a unit, they have still been solid, even with the loss of Aiden Hutchinson. Like they have found a way to pick up where he left off by using the aggregate, right? Using what players they have to kind of fill in those roles. And obviously, look, if you've heard the rumors around the trade deadline, which is coming up here, I think next week it's when it's hit.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people who are discussing about, well, are they going to trade for an edge rusher? They've called Cleveland, they called Las Vegas. Both have basically said they're our franchise guys, so they're not going anywhere. Fine. Crosby, Garrett are off the list. It doesn't mean Detroit still won't add a piece.
Right.
Because their future, likely as an edge rusher, they can still go find a guy, re-sign him for whatever price he might be worth, and have him for the next foreseeable future with Hutchinson when he gets back.
Right.
Like that probably would be the plan. Try and find a guy that's either inexpensive, old enough, and still will play for a few more years, or find a young enough guy that you think is talented enough to make the move. What was it I think I saw? I don't know if he got traded. I saw Josh Uche from the Patriots. I think he was being mentioned a lot as like a trade target for edge rush. I don't remember if he got traded or not.
He did.
Okay, I thought he did because I saw like it was like a trade that got moved to the Chiefs or something like that.
Shoot, I'll be able to tell you in a second of where
I thought it was for the Chiefs, but the Lions, this is a team right now that
he got traded to, of course, the Chiefs.
Yeah, I thought
for
so.
a 6th-round pick.
I thought so. And that's like what they need is like a cheap piece like that. But this Lions team. Right now, I would say they're probably the best in the NFC because they've looked like it. They've got the chemistry, they've got the culture, they've got the offense. I think they've got the defense too. It's just when it comes to playoff time, they just need to execute, and that's the biggest thing. Is that you don't want to be. You don't want to be the Baltimore Ravens where you get in there and it just comes down to that one play where you could have had it, but you aren't able to make it happen.
Like I think
that's the problem
because they got a nice taste of it last season. I think they're going to be having a different approach. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's obviously Dan Campbell's first time as a head coach going to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Goff's been there numerous times, but like Montgomery, Gibbs, obviously, and like a handful of those guys, it's been the first time.
Yeah.
So something's different about like they just get better and better, I hate to do this.
We don't have to.
Are you sure?
We can skip if you want.
You don't want to talk about him?
No.
All right, yeah, that was a bad game.
That was a brutal game, folks. He's talking about Eagles, Bengals. Here's all I'm going to say on this. The loss of T. Higgins was apparent, and that Eagles team, I think, is hungry to prove people wrong because I think they're getting tired of the disrespect of people saying Sirianni stinks. Yeah. I don't think he's that good. Don't get me wrong. But I think this Eagles team is better than what they've shown. They showed it here, I think.
There was a statement.
Yeah, this was a statement win. Now, though, you got to keep this going forward. That's the only thing. Can they keep momentum? I don't know. Because that was probably the best I think they've looked so far this year.
That's
all I wanted to say.
They're going to have to carry this over. It's just it's tough because the questions already threw up there. Like, are they even a thing? Because they had. How many losses did they have in a row towards the end of last year?
It was like 5 or 6 or something like it was way.
And that screwed them.
Right. That's the problem is that this is a team that just is cohesion there. Do they have enough to get over the line? Is everyone going to be healthy? Like, and then after that, once the season's over for this group, they got to ask themselves, well, Brandon Graham's gone and Lane Johnson might be gone. Like older pieces on that team are going to be leaving. who else is going to be around for the long haul? Like you got to fill in some holes there at tackle and end and all these other spots, and you better be prepared for it.
Yeah, I mean,
you better be ready.
Because some of their draft picks haven't really stepped up big lately, but yeah, just a big win by the Eagles, a big statement.
Yeah.
The other one I want to go over, we talk Packers and Jags. I mean, wasn't much of a game. Packers started off real slow, and then Jordan Love went out, and then Malik Willis came in, and they pulled off with the win. It was an ugly win, but
that was a Matt LaFleur game.
Yeah, that
was his offense, just running things.
I hate that, man. I want to coach like that, where it's like it doesn't matter who's in.
Yeah,
you're just you're going to be able.
And
to
he did the same thing that like what the Bears were trying to do, right? You're like, okay, passing game is not exactly there. The beautiful thing is that the Packers, their run blocking schemes are fantastic because of what LaFleur designs. So Josh Jacobs finally having himself his game. I mean, he was incredible in that
25 carries, 127, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he looks good on my fantasy.
I was going to say, for anybody that had him, I'm sure you were happy because that dude, he's been slow. He's obviously been slow because the Packers want to work that passing game. But now you can see, like, okay, if it doesn't work, we've got the guy that can still run the football. Is he great? No. Is he good? Yeah, absolutely. He fills the job, and that's what you needed.
So I want to talk actually about 2 more games here, and then we can preview tonight's real quick. I mean, we got to talk about Falcons beating the Buccaneers just for our boy Dykstra. I mean, good win. Not the prettiest win because, I mean, obviously, Baker Mayfield is limited with receivers right now. Godwin playing legit. Got happy. Parlayed Otten to score 2 touchdowns or more, and then probably Pitts, I think.
Yeah, it was Pitts to score the other touchdown. It was a tight end parlay.
What the hell? Why can I get this damn lucky?
Because we don't work for the internet.
Have nice things.
That's the problem. We don't work for the internet. We don't have that luxury.
I hate it, man.
We get these insider tips, and you know what they are? Bogus. It's all bogus because they're all trying to trick us.
They're all just trying to fool us, man.
I mean, listen, this Tampa, I knew this was going to happen to Tampa. They overplayed their hand a lot. Now their top receivers go out. Yeah, Baker still can play well, but let's be honest. He's not a great franchise quarterback.
No.
He's a good franchise-defined quarterback. You need those receivers in there for him to play well.
Yeah.
And look, nothing against your boy Trey Palmer from Nebraska. He did an excellent job stepping in there, as the rest of those guys did.
Yeah.
But I mean, you need a Mike Evans. You need a Chris Godwin if you're going to win that game. Kirk Cousins just did what he had to do. And unfortunately, this Tampa defense is old and inexperienced.
It's beat up.
And you can't ask Anthony Winfield Jr. to do everything.
No.
You can't cover. He's a top safety. You can't cover the whole field.
No.
I'm sorry.
They shouldn't. I mean, obviously, it's tough when Atlanta's got some weapons with Kyle Pitts having a much better year in his previous years, I would say.
He's stepped up big.
And then Bijan obviously getting the ball more. And then Darnell Mooney has been one of Cousins.
Use your speed, get underneath, move the ball up the field. Boom, we're good. And then throw the jump ball to Drake London.
Yeah.
And everybody can feast all of a sudden. Everybody's having a good game. Atlanta actually has a passing attack back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's incredible. Now, the last game I wanted to talk about was Texans and Colts.
Okay.
And the main reason for this,
I know what it is, but
okay, I figured.
No, please.
Anthony Richardson, man.
Yeah.
He don't seem like he cares. I mean, one, he sucks. I mean, that sounds terrible.
It's harsh.
Yeah, it's a little harsh. He's playing awful. Like he's putting way too much zip on the ball.
His numbers are reflecting a bad season on him.
Like
right
it's
now.
been nothing compared to what he had week 1. Like week 1 was great because he's like he's got a strong arm. He can chuck it down the field and pretty accurately. But when it comes to short yardage, like he's a deer in headlights.
Yeah,
he's like not seeing the defense. Like that one where I think they were they were tied.
Yeah.
And they were on their own 15-yard line. Like, I just don't get how he did not see the safety just sitting right there next to whoever it was. And he just, like, lackadaisical just threw that. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? And then then in his post game, he just said, I was just tired. or like I'm just getting tired. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is a bad look on you, brother.
I mean, well, I'm sure you saw it, but Pat McAfee tweeted out, like, I don't have the exact tweet in front of me, but basically, you're a franchise quarterback. Like, the look for that on the team has to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, Anthony Richardson, when he came out, myself and David sat here and I compared him anywhere, saying his best would probably be Cam Newton. His worst might be Vince Young, where basically it's all athleticism on his part. And it's very little having to do, I think, with the X's and O's. Again, not saying he's dumb or stupid or anything like that. No. And not saying Cam Newton or Vince Young were like that. But Vince Young has made a statement already from the past saying, like, when he retired from the Eagles and everything, like, I didn't do enough work on the tape when I was in Tennessee to learn how to play the game at the NFL level.
Right.
Cam Newton, he did a lot of great studying. Like, he knows the game very well. But I think he was a guy, particularly all the way up until when he was an MVP, it was utilize your legs. You're one of the fastest guys. You're bigger than everybody. So that's how you're going to beat guys. He still had an arm. Don't get me wrong. Like, he did throw for a lot of touchdowns and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I think Anthony Richardson falls into that. You're 6'5", you're 240. You're bigger and stronger than everybody as a quarterback already at this point, outside of like Josh Allen and stuff like that. You're faster than most guys other than like Lamar and a few others. So use that.
Right.
And I think he lays on that way too much instead of sitting back there, developing as a quarterback, being able to sit in the pocket. But that's what Shane Steichen's offense is kind of calling for, right?
Right.
We all said, Jalen Hurts, but bigger.
Right.
It's just not taking, though. That's the problem.
And that's where I said this before, too, after he entered the draft. I believe he should have gotten another year in college.
He should have stayed one more year because he was not prepared for what this was.
Not in the slightest. And that's why I was kind of more shocked that he got drafted that early. I mean, it wasn't like the deepest QB class, but
I'll tell you probably what happened, though. I mean, we talked about this.
Yeah.
You look at him and what do you see? That's one heck of an athlete.
Exactly.
He's got
you see the potential.
Got the look, right? He's got the look. He's got exactly what you're looking for: size, skill. Oh yeah, he measures out beautifully.
Right.
Okay, but what does the film say? Right. Exactly. I said this. Numbers are nice, but the film talks.
Exactly.
Or the tape talks, and the tape says this guy needs a lot of work, and you haven't sat him. You started him immediately.
Yeah,
with a brand new coach. I get it. He's learning the offense. It's an offense that should be tailored to him. It's not working, though.
No.
Something's off. He needs more study.
You have a veteran of Joe Flacco sitting back there. Just let him
learn.
Let him learn from Joe. Because, I mean, Flacco, he's a Super Bowl winner. I mean, he's a solid, great quarterback. Let's put Anthony Richardson down. Put Flacco in. Let Richardson learn from Flacco. Yeah. I mean, come on.
If you want a chance to still win, that's the move you have to make. But the problem is, you're trying to justify this guy as a first round pick, top 5 pick, franchise quarterback, and it's not paying dividends. Like, you're approaching that level where you go, look, this quarterback class isn't great, but do we trade out of him, get what we can,
right,
and hope that maybe there's a QB in this thing that might be able to help save us?
Yeah.
Or do you wait 2 years and then say, all right, don't give him the 5th year, we'll just tank and then just be bad and hope Arch Manning is there and the Manning legacy continues. So
yeah. Oh my God,
I will say this too, because I know we don't have a lot of time, but just to combine these two very quickly.
Yeah.
To Jets and Cowboys. Blow it up.
Blow it up.
It's done. Who's running the team? Who's running the organization? Who's calling the shots anymore? I don't know. Like, it feels like Mike McCarthy has been pushed to the side for Jerry Jones to run the team entirely. Not just the franchise, the whole team. He wants to be coach now.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like dysfunctional, and the Jets are too. Ben Olbrich is taking marching orders from Joe Douglas, who's probably taking marching orders from Woody Johnson.
Yeah.
There's such a disconnect on who's in charge of what. And it just speaks to their dysfunction. You should not lose to the Patriots.
No.
And I'm sorry, the Cowboys had every chance to win that game against the 49ers.
Oh, 100%.
And they botched
it. And they could have came back, and it was awful.
I get it. You have injuries, you have problems, you have this, that, and the other. Understandable. But you had multiple chances. Both teams had multiple chances to do it. And you failed.
They are right now the laughing stocks of the NFL.
They should be. This is why I understood saying the Cowboys might win the division. Like I said that, and I feel stupid for saying that, but like, who would have thought Washington would be this good? I had a feeling the Jets were going to collapse, and a lot of people said, you might be wrong about that one. Like, how many people picked them to win the division? I'm not insulting anybody. Like, I just never felt like this was going to be a division-winning team.
We had
too much dysfunction.
We have someone on our show that had a Super Bowl futures in there, but I'm not going to say it.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. He's not here.
Don't trust Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no.
Don't ever trust that man, especially when he walks off the field at the end of the game. Yeah, leader. Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah.
He's out of his days, man.
Dude,
he's done.
Like I said, they put together an Oscar-worthy movie with like 50 people that have won Golden Globes and Oscars and all that stuff. But nobody went, yeah, but how are the script writers? What's the producer? Like, how's the director? Hey, is the script good? No. The movie's gonna stink then, isn't it? It stinks.
It stinks.
It stinks.
All right, real quick, because we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's still starting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's
Yeah. Russell Wilson starting.
Fields is hurting.
I don't know about you. I got Pittsburgh by a mile. I mean, the thing is, I still think
the Giants
stink. The Giants just stink that bad. But I still think that the Steelers are a better team with Justin Fields under center. I don't think. I mean, yeah, you can look at the numbers about Russell Wilson last week, but if you look, it was a lot of George Pickens bailing his ass out on some of those throws and a lot of underthrown. But I mean, he still got him a win, and I mean, the Giants are just that bad. I have Steelers. I'm probably going to take them. They are -6 favorites. I might just take them on.
You can kind of like clock up his stats and show how good he is, you know. And it's not to say Justin won't play at some point. He's hurting right now, but when he gets healthy, I'm sure he'll have a set of plays. But I think this was always the plan.
Yeah,
and I think, and against the Giants here, I'm sure he's gonna show it. Yeah, he might make mistakes, but like unless he has like the worst game of his life, I don't see any road where he gets this taken away from him, where like he's not the starter.
Yeah, if he throws up good numbers again, he probably will stay the starter, which stinks because now goodbye to that 4th round pick that the Bears could get. But
all Justin has to do is play one more game.
Just one more game?
I think that's all he has to do is play one more. No, he's got to play 1.5 more games. I think, and he beats the, and I think he beats it for over. Right. He's got to play over 51% of the snaps, folks. So
okay,
he needs to at least get like 1, if not 2 more games in, because I think he's at 6 games, right? So
yeah,
he needs to get that 7th and 8th game in there if you want that 6 to be a 4th.
So it's still alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Still a chance, and you never know with the Steelers. That offensive line is pretty bad,
and Russ is old, so we might never know.
Yes.
All right, that wraps up our NFL Week 8 talk. Coming up, we are going to recap the wild Week 9 of college football next on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
I have a dream.
Two. Yes, we can. Celebrating those that continue to inspire this Black History Month.
Those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with yes, we can.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with the heaping amounts of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
It's a quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
Welcome back here on Blow the Whistle. I should probably put our faces up there. There we go. You are listening to Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago's.com, YouTube, and Twitch. Here with you, Tyler Butterball Beaterball and Andrew Pepe Valentin. I said that wrong. Pepe Valentin. I am sorry.
That's fine. In my ear, I was like, I heard peanut butter, and I was like, what? I don't know what happened there. My brain just completely, I don't know where that went. Sorry.
It just like sometimes it flows off differently every time I say it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
I know what you mean.
I know, and we've known each other long enough. We just recapped week 8 of the NFL, and now it's time to recap week 9 of college football. And I just told Andrew before we got back from the break, I'm just gonna rip it off like a Band-Aid. Number 4, Ohio State beats Nebraska 21-17. Yeah, that's right, you heard it. Nebraska covered, and I didn't place it, of course, for some stupid reason. But Nebraska, Ohio State only beats Nebraska by 4 points. Overall, I was happy with how they played. Like the defense really stepped up. I mean, what I talked the biggest about this is that it was day and night, a complete different looking team compared to how they looked against Indiana.
Yeah,
against Indiana, you could tell they were completely unprepared in the slightest, because I mean, Raiola looked lost, the defense looked lost, and it was 56-7, and we just forget about it. But anyways, Nebraska had a chance winning this game, and it was just unfortunate because they got the lead, took the lead, and while the defense was holding Ohio State like very well, they just let them drive and they scored. But I mean, overall, great game. I wouldn't say I'm getting worried about Raiola.
Yeah.
He's a freshman. He's only 19 years old.
Right.
I think it's just that he started off hot so early into the year, and now you're falling into the tougher part of the schedule. And obviously, like for him to go into Columbus, and I mean, the only pick, he didn't throw for a touchdown, but he had the pick at the end, which I will say was an awful throw. But I mean, to go into one of the toughest stadiums to play in as a true freshman quarterback, I mean, to me, I felt like he held his own and he played smart football. I mean, there was he wants those back so bad. There was 2 wide open receivers, 2 different moments that would have been a touchdown. And so he's going to end up getting that touchback that he has on his throws.
Yeah.
I think it's just in that moment he gets a little too excited, and I don't know, there's something there that he's just he's putting a little too much under it, and he's just not putting he just needs to put a little more touch, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, for what this game was, this was a good show for Nebraska nevertheless, because one thing was for certain is that they could hang with Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this showed. I mean, you still, like you said, he's a freshman starting immediately, 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions on the year, still averaging over 65% of his completions. Like the kid is going to grow and get better.
Right.
As long as Nebraska continues to grow and get better, and they're certainly doing that. They're going in the right direction. It's just like this was the big baddie of the Big Ten that you're going to have to face on the year. We knew this coming in, and I didn't think I thought they were going to get maybe more manhandled than anything. But the fact is that defense stood their own against this team. And that was considering that from what I saw, I don't think they had Tommy Lee, their top defensive back, out there either.
No,
so
he was out.
Yeah. So you're talking about a team who didn't even have their best defensive back in there, and they still were able to make plays. Now, granted, Ohio State, I mean, they put on a show passing wise. You can say whatever you want about Will Howard, but like he was just on point and on precision. I mean, you saw
and Jeremiah freaking Smith, man.
He's the best freshman player in the country.
He's got my vote.
Yeah.
He's playing phenomenal. I mean, or even the I can never remember his name, but the Bama receiver that's a true freshman,
Ryan Williams.
Yeah, both of those two guys.
Well, Ryan Williams has calmed down a little bit. Jeremiah Smith is just
still
going up and up and up, and like he's on another level. But then Carnell Tate. I know nobody knows this kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's a local from here, East St. Louis. Former Chicago, Illinois, then went there. Then went to IMG Academy,
of course,
and was a beast there too. I mean, this kid's 6'3", 190. He's a sophomore. I mean, he has every potential to be just as good, if not maybe even better, than what we've seen out of some of these other guys.
And that's what's helping Will Howard is yeah, I mean, he's a good quarterback. I wouldn't say he's top tier compared to the rest of in this college football.
He's doable,
but when you got like supporting cast like Smith, Tate, I'm gonna butcher his name.
Egbuka.
Yes.
Yeah, Mika Egbuka.
Yes.
Well, and I think you got to ask yourself too, is Kyle McCord a better quarterback? Because what I saw against Pitt doesn't say anything about him being a better quarterback. I know 2 of those interceptions weren't his fault.
Oh my God, 5 interceptions.
But you threw 5.
Yeah.
And 3 of those 5, by the way, were kind of like throwing the ball. Uh-oh. And then those balls went pew right back to the end zone.
That was bad.
Like the defense scored more than the offense did. Like, dude, it's like that's the thing is that this Ohio State team is not perfect by any means.
No,
but their roster completely, it's pretty complete as you get.
It is. Yeah.
Quarterback, wide receivers, running backs. I mean, yeah, not everybody executing in this game, of course.
Is good.
That's the thing is that their defense came up big, but even still, Raiola, give him credit. He stepped in. He didn't look like he was afraid. He made his plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you didn't get to make the long throws, the big bombs to Naylor and Banks like you wanted to. Those big wide receivers, right? Those guys got well covered.
Yeah.
But he will get better.
He will.
He will get better. And this is still a good showing for him, for Matt Rule, for all of them to be able to say, hey, look, Nebraska's coming. So
yeah.
And they're still 5-3, by the way, folks. They're like not out of it yet.
And they have a pretty winnable remaining schedule. And the only ones that worry me is they got UCLA next. I'm not worried about that game.
No.
USC could be interesting.
It kind of just depends.
And now I was predicting that they were going to beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin's running around.
You can't look down at Wisconsin, man. You can't.
Or even Iowa. So it's like I would name 2.5 tough games coming up, but
I would say they still
they can definitely get bowl contention. They just need one more win.
I gave them what did I give them? I gave them like 7-5, 8-4, something like that.
They need to win 9 because I have them at 8.5.
I had them at like 8-4, I think, or something like that, or 7-5. We'd have to go back and listen, but
yeah,
they've improved a lot more than what I thought they would. And if they come out of this 8-4, 9-3, you go to a bowl game.
Happy.
That's a great pickup. That's a great victory for you to keep marching forward.
That's that. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So we'll obviously preview on Friday. Let's talk Texas A&M beating LSU.
Hey, Kyle Field.
38-23.
Hey,
that's the thing, man. It's so tough playing there.
That's the problem is that, David always says it can't be, it's not that tough. I've been to Kyle Field before. And that was post Johnny Manziel days, by the way. That was after him. Geez. So even though Johnny Manziel was there, it's still a tough place to play.
It's loud.
It's loud. And I will say this, like, dude, LSU came in and they just looked lackadaisical. Like they did not look like they were in it. There was plenty of mistakes that they made. Guys were dropping passes. Garrett Nussmeier looked like he was off his game. Like they just did not look like they were in the right setting. And A&M, they just ran the football against them. That's all they did. I don't know who Le'Veon Moss is, but that kid ran through him like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, I mean, they really put it down to like in half. I mean, they had 17-7, and then it was just A&M.
They had the game in hand. Yeah, they had the game in hand. Yeah, they had the game in hand, but for some reason, well, I know what the reason was. It's that defense. Like the Shamar Turner and Shamar Stewart, the Shamar brothers, man, they come after you with and Scorton too. That other guy who's right now rising through the ranks as a top defensive end for the NFL. Like those guys are tough. Those guys are fast.
They got some bullies over there.
Yeah, and they did a great and credit to A&M. They're winning through their defense.
Yeah, no, they are. I mean, they kind of started off a little rough. I mean,
it was terrible what happened with them at Notre Dame.
Yeah,
like that was a terrible game, but they got the W. But everyone was saying they're done, they're cooked, and I thought so too.
They've won every day since.
They've continued it. Tom Elko's done a great job, kind of rebuffing this team. But you gotta find a quarterback, man.
Yeah,
if that Reed kid's the answer, put him in there. If it's Wakeman, put him in there. This alternating quarterback crap. Sorry, but it that's what it is. Like this is getting ridiculous.
It's not going to work that way.
No, you can't go in the college football playoff or the SEC championship and think that's how you're going to win.
No,
it's not going to happen. Be it Texas, be it Alabama, I don't care who it is. You're not going to win that way.
No, not a shot. Let's talk about our friends, boys.
Yeah,
Penn State, number 3 Penn State beating Wisconsin 28-13. I mean, I expected Penn State to win, but I mean, going back to what I said is that Wisconsin's starting to find their thing, and I mean, they came off of 2 great wins.
Yeah.
But I mean, great win by Penn State as expected.
I thought this was going to be a lot closer too.
Yeah, I thought,
and it's
I thought so too.
Yeah, it's no insult to David in Penn State or anything, but they started 2 different quarterbacks in this game. But Perbula came in. Bo Perbula, he came in as the backup, and he did a good job. But so did Drew Aller. Drew Aller went in and he did a really good job too. I mean, but their run game for a while there, they got stifled yet again. And that's the thing. Like again, I'm not trying to insult Penn State here or anything, but it's just what I'm starting to realize. They're winning through their defense. It feels like more than anything.
Their defense is playing lights out. Like
they are one of the top defenses in college football right now.
Easy. I mean, I would say you could probably say best in the Big Ten. I would say that, but I mean, yeah, like you said, one of the best in college football for sure. So I mean, yeah, no, I will say like. I just figured it was going to be closer because Wisconsin's a tough place to play in as well.
Yeah, Camp Randall is no joke.
It's yeah. So I mean, for all the people that played Wisconsin to cover, I don't blame you, but I don't think they did.
28-13. I don't think they did.
I don't think so either. I forgot what it opened up at.
I think it was like not. I want to say it was like closer to like 9.5.
6.5.
6.5. Okay.
Wow, that's it.
Well, again, it's Penn State's offense. It's not that it's inconsistent. They're just running a very basic style. It feels like, like they're not getting, but they don't. I don't think they have the players to get very exploratory with it.
And you're still getting Aller to develop and stuff like that. Like obviously, he's having a much better year than last year. I mean, well, he only played like
last year was a really good year for him. This year, he's kind of just it's just like, well, he's not really building on it. He's just like adding to
and then
it.
He's just kind of slowly.
It's a slow, gradual growth. Like you don't really see it until you see the line fully developed, and you go, oh well, there was an uptick. It's very kind of minimal,
right?
But it's there because he has the skill set.
Yeah.
It's just Fleming has to at some point pop for them if they want to really be more explosive.
That's what I forgot is that he's kind of been disappointing for me for Penn State. Like I thought when I heard that transfer happen, and I was like, he was a solid wide receiver at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the hell has he been?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
We all sat here and said, like, that's a good get for them. They need that receiver. And instead it's the dude Wallace who's kind of stepped up to be their man. And I'm just kind of going like, okay, but is like Fleming's getting the ball, but minimal.
Yeah. I
don't know.
Do you think he's not getting open, or do you think they're not like
he's got chances to get open, but it just doesn't seem like he and Aller are like settling with each other. Like I don't think the chemistry's there.
Off. Yeah. And that's what's disappointing because I'm like, that is a great pickup for them. I mean, hopefully if they can get him going, I think you're going to see a lot of production from this offense.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to, I feel. If you're going to be competitive at the college football playoff, your vertical game has to be there. Like no disrespect to those tight ends, but you can't keep living off of the 5-yard outs on the tight ends and the curls and the slants over the middle and stuff. And you have to be able at some point to extend the game. And Wallace is great, but if you can get another guy going at the same time with Fleming, that's going to help your team exponentially with a quarterback like Aller.
Right. No, well, absolutely. So, I mean, the next one I want to go with is, let's see, Oregon. Oregon beating Illinois. Number 1 Oregon beating number 20 Illinois 38-9. I mean, we don't have to talk about this much, but I mean, I think Oregon's starting to find their groove.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a rocky start, but I mean,
they're figuring it out.
They are. And I mean, and Illinois has a really good defense.
Yeah.
Like and then Altmaier's not a bad quarterback.
No.
And they've been able to find stuff to work, but I mean, Oregon just picked them apart early and fast. And Dylan Gabriel, you can say he might have put his name back in the contention for Heisman, but I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think it's already pretty set in stone of who's going to win.
I mean, I would say there's still a battle at the top of the two,
and
it's just because one guy does 2 things fantastic, the other guy does that one thing that we have not seen somebody do in a long time very well.
Yeah,
and it's really tough to beat those 2 guys. One is in Colorado, the other one's in Boise. So
he's a man amongst boys.
I think
then
they were for a lot of people.
They were starting to get me worried at first, and now they're sitting back at 1, still again in the new rankings this week.
Yeah,
but right now, to me, like with how they're playing, and Dan Lanning's flipping.
He's a great
coach, dude.
He's a great coach.
They right now have the most complete team, in my opinion. I mean, they're one of the only undefeated teams left. There's only
they've proven themselves to be the complete team now. So now, for me, I would say Texas, Ohio State, Oregon. They're the 3 teams that feel like they have every level of game like locked down. From offense, defense, special teams, coaching, you name it, they've got it.
They got it all.
And
dude.
Atmosphere, too. Like, atmosphere is there as well.
No, I mean, that stadium, another one that's very tough to play in.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Horseshoe.
Credit to Illinois, but I mean, it's coaching.
I felt that this was inevitable, though, because Illinois was just like, no disrespect against Illinois. I know a lot of no disrespect, but this is a tough team. Illinois, I didn't think had the firepower to hang with them. It's a great defense. That edge rush is incredible. Mateo Uiagalelei and Harmon.
Here, dumb question: is he related to DJ?
Yeah, that's his little
I thought
bro.
so.
That's his little bro.
Oh wow, that's
big,
cool.
Big bro. If the big bro ever met little bro, big bro would probably be like, because he's like massive. Like he's like
He's a big dude.
He's 6'4.5", 260. Like I mean, DJ's not too far off either. So I don't remember if they have any other siblings, but damn,
maybe DJ should switch to edge rusher.
Tight end might be your future, homie.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
something else.
But yeah, Oregon, man, is just they have they're on point right now. They're on point.
And now this one was one of my favorite games.
I really love this.
Number
game.
5 Texas, number 25 Vandy. I am so mad.
Vandy had a winning record.
I know, dude, and they're out of the top 25.
Yeah.
Texas wins 27-24. Guys, we told you from the beginning, don't sleep on Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I mean, my God. But I mean, it sucks because that's their 3rd loss. That's why they're out of the top 25.
Right.
But they are a top 25 team in my picture. If you look
in our hearts, they're top 25.
I mean, think about it. Their losses. They had a bad loss against, I forgot who it was in week 2. Okay, but they
was it Georgia State? I think it was. Or something like that.
That was a fluff.
Yeah,
but they kept it with like their other 2 losses, like Texas. They kept it by 3.
Yeah,
and then same with Mizzou. And I'm like, these are top dogs in the SEC. One of the top dogs in the SEC.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Texas survives because they're coming off a bad loss against Georgia. But I mean, what does this say for Vanderbilt in the future now? Are they back?
I don't even know if they were ever there.
Yeah, I know.
No disrespect, but
like, do we have an actual football program here in Vandy?
I think this is just kind of the one-hit wonder kind of thing.
No, don't say that.
I know. I don't want to listen. But the problem is that I think Pavia's out of I think he's out of tenure after this. So unless he can do the graduate thing, I don't know. But I think after this, I think he's done.
Hell, Cam Rising got 8 years.
Well, and we can see where Utah's at. So I think this is just like you got the right quarterback at the right time. Like the athletes are popping off. Eli Stowers, their tight end, is playing himself into being a draftable player at this point. Like you need a tight end that can catch the football. He's a guy.
Mhm.
Like their defense, by the way, too, is proving themselves. Those interceptions they got from Quinn Ewers were nice. So they've got some guys that they'll be late round picks, but they'll get looks.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can say they're back, but this is a good selling point for you to go, Vanderbilt's got some talent. If we go there, we can build something off. But this is also credit to Rio, too, their coach.
Oh, yeah.
Like he transfer portal, he used those, sold everybody, used that Nashville NIL money, and got those guys in there, and it's working. It's working, and it's working in there. But here's the thing, too. SEC, maybe not as strong as we were all looking at.
Right.
There's some weak spots in these teams now because dudes are transferring out, guys are transferring to other schools. So open opportunities are opening up for you to say, oh, there's a hole in the armor there.
Yeah. No, I mean,
and they're taking advantage of it. And good for Vandy.
As they should. And it's like, yeah, you want to go to SEC school. It's like, you know what? Vandy's kind of looking a little pretty. You know what I mean?
I've told this, I don't know how many times to recruits. You don't have to go to the Alabama and Notre Dame.
No.
You can go to the smaller school, not even Vandy. You can go to like Monmouth or Mount Union.
Yeah.
You play well enough, you'll get drafted. They will find you, right? Late Vincent Jackson came from North Colorado. You've got the other kid, Austin Eckler, coming out of North Colorado. You got these small school guys. They'll find you.
They will.
And Vanderbilt, it's not a small school, mind you, but in the SEC, it's a small school.
Like one of the, I don't know how, I can't remember how he's playing right now, but he was the top cornerback, I think 2 years ago out of Toledo.
Yeah, Quinion Mitchell.
Yeah.
He's done a very
He's
good
done
job.
good. It's like, that's the thing. Like, you don't have to go to these big schools.
You don't have to go to the big top 5, top 25 program. You can go to a smaller school where you'll play right away. And if you play well enough, guess what? You're getting a shot.
Exactly.
You got the kid from East Carolina. Who's heard of him as a cornerback? Revel Williams, I think it is, or something like that. That dude's probably going to be a first-round pick. Or go in the top 3 rounds because he's a great corner.
And that's crazy. That's what it is. It's just, as long as you're good,
you play, and you play well, you will get drafted. You play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
Herm Edwards came out.
I love it. Let's talk.
We can tear through these really quickly
Yeah,
because these I have much to say for Indiana and for Miami.
Yeah.
Bama, I don't have much on.
No, I mean, that was
a mollywop. That was just Missouri being like, uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, that Bama needed that, though, because
I think they got outmatched.
Bama needed that because they're coming off back-to-back. They came off back-to-back losses against Vanderbilt and then Tennessee.
They played angry.
Yeah, they were pissed.
You would see Kalen DeBoer just be like, foot on the gas and don't take it off. All right.
That's what he needed. They needed to give him a good kick in the ass because, I mean, they looked like the best team in college football at this point. But, yeah, Miami, first time they started off the year 8-0. I think I saw until, 2006, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute for them, really.
But I'm pissed at them because they didn't cover. You were a half point off. Damn it. That's okay. My parlay wasn't going to hit anyways.
Yeah, it's so it's said. Looking, you can call them 1 year wonders too, just right there with Vanderbilt.
And Cam Ward's leaving there.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to the draft. He's going to probably be. I think he's probably going to be the top quarterback. If not him, Shador. They're going to be the top 2 quarterbacks taken in the draft. I think easily.
Yeah, I mean
they've just performed. Yeah, I know, but they've just performed the best.
Yeah,
but. You can make fun of Cristobal all you want to for what he said on the game speech. Like everyone's like, dude, if you didn't have Cam Ward, you'd be like 6-6. Okay, that's true. But last year they were like 6-1, I think, or 7-1 or something like that before they had their own quarterback issues. Like they were not too far off from being a nationally ranked team. Cristobal has something going there.
He does. I mean,
and he's doing the same thing that I'm sure you've seen the 30 for 30s on Miami.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the state of Miami.
Yeah.
He's doing that.
Yeah.
He's roping it off and saying, look, we'll recruit from outside. But if he's in Florida, if he's from Dayton to Miami at the very tipping point of Florida, I'm getting that kid.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes. And now I got NIL money. I'm taking that kid to Miami.
And that's how college football has turned into now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and he's used the transfer portal beautifully.
Yeah, he has.
You've got a running back in Damian Martinez coming from Oregon State. Look at the game he just had. He ripped off almost 150 yards and scored 2 great touchdowns.
I
That
mean,
dude's incredible.
Miami's a team to watch out for.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You can say they're weak and soft all you want. Fine. ACC. Oh, we make fun of them. Don't matter. This team might be good enough. Cam Ward's a quarterback.
He is a hell of a quarterback. Let's go to Indiana beating Washington. Indiana.
I don't understand football anymore.
Indiana is Cignetti. I don't know what he's got them drinking down there, but my God, dude, they are so good.
I called him the Godfather. That dude's the Don.
Just like
he just runs that ship.
What was crazy to me? So I'm dating back to the Nebraska game.
Yeah,
I don't know why I am because I hated that game.
I mean, that was brutal to watch.
The fact that what was it like? They got that pick in the end zone and they ran it back like 70 yards. And Cignetti's got like a pissed off face. He's like he's not satisfied.
He's a Nick Saban type of dude.
He is
an Urban Meyer type of guy. I'm not satisfied. Yeah,
Google me. I mean. I know at first it pissed me off when I saw that. I'm like, screw you, jackass. But I'm just like, okay, yeah.
He wants to step on your throat and then make sure that you're not breathing and then throw you in the river and like burn the body. Like he is, we're all in and I'm not letting up.
I'm kind of a little ticked that I'd
be afraid of that man.
Dude, he's scary.
He's scary.
I don't want him as my father and my grandfather. I'd be get my ass whooped every day.
He is definitely I don't know if he has daughters, but if he definitely has a daughter, he's kind of the guy that's like, why don't we have a seat? And you definitely have to sit down with them, and he's going to stare you down for 5 minutes until you say
whatever
something.
guy she brings over.
He's not speaking
crapping himself.
If he's got daughters, I don't know if he does, but I feel like he's the dude that definitely has daughters, and it's like, why don't we go sit in the den real quick and have a chat?
Come here, boy.
Jeez.
It's like,
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Why don't we go talk? We'll be right back, honey. Don't you worry.
Oh God, he'd be the last person where the daughter's like, Daddy, can you pass me the salt?
Exactly.
And they both reach for it.
Yeah.
You're a dead man.
Yeah, right.
But
you touch my hand, you know what happens.
But I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't move in the rankings. I mean, sit at 8-0. I mean,
yeah,
at 13 again. I mean,
the problem is they're not beating top competition. Like they I think, play Ohio State at some point
in the
next few weeks.
How they're outscoring these teams.
That's the thing.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, obviously the biggest test is going to be, because who do they got coming up?
Next they have coming up is I can't even remember now. Jeez,
hold on, I'm pulling it up.
I think it's in 2 or 3 weeks they play Ohio State. I'm pretty sure.
So they got Michigan State this week, and then Michigan, and then Ohio State, and then Purdue.
Yes.
Again, I mean, Ohio State's gonna be tough, but those are winnable games.
That's the thing is this team is built on great defense, executing on the quarterback play. Right. I mean, that's like I could sit here all day and say what I said about Rourke being a third string quarterback on Alabama or any of these other top teams. The dude's putting in work.
He is.
He could be a Heisman contender. And Indiana, like
crazy.
He could play himself potentially into being a quarterback in the first 3 rounds of a draft. Potentially, like he's just executing, and like
he's playing smart.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You play seamless. You play smart. You'll get a chance. You'll make an opportunity for yourself, and he's doing it. And they don't have the best receivers at Indiana.
No,
they really don't.
I hate that.
It's just he does. He's got SEC play in his blood, and that's why I don't think he's long to last there in Indiana.
No, he's gonna go somewhere.
And by the way, you beat Ohio State. That dude whose job it is right now could get fired, and that could be another job opening up for you too. Like we talk about him going to Florida. If Ohio State fires Ryan Day, who's to say Cignetti's not offered the job to go to Ohio State?
If they lost to Nebraska, that might have been a huge possibility.
That might have been enough.
Because that would have dropped them so far in the rankings.
Yeah.
Nebraska probably would have been in.
Yeah. You lose to Indiana, he's fired.
Yeah.
You lose to Michigan? Out of there. There's no way you stay around with this Michigan team and lose. If you lose. No.
He's never beat Michigan, right?
He has. It's been a while now.
That's why I thought it's been like a good couple.
If you can't do it when Jim Harbaugh's gone, and this team has certainly kind of put themselves in the tank a little bit, you can't beat this team.
No,
you don't keep your job. I don't care who you are.
No. All right. Well, that recaps. What wraps up? Jesus, stroke over
I knew
here.
what you were trying to say. You were trying to say recap and wraps up at the same time.
Rack it up. That wraps up week 9 of college football. Jesus Lord.
It's been a long
It's
day.
a good thing I don't work my big boy job after today. I'm gonna need to just breathe. I'm still hungover. Not actually hungover. I'm hungover from the weekend because of the team on my head, and then Nebraska.
I was playing a video game on Friday. I was over at headquarters. We had so many drinks. I thought I was playing a video game. Turns out it wasn't even started. That's how bad it got. I was I was on the wheel. I was playing whatever it is, the racing game over there. That's like the Outrun. I was playing Outrun, the old school arcade game, and I was like on the wheel, and I was like, I'm really winning this one. It's not even like I didn't even hit start. My friends were just staring at me, going, "Hey, you're doing good, man. You're doing real good." That is brutal.
I'm just thinking it's like choose your character, and you're just sitting there.
It wasn't even that. I didn't even get to that level.
It keeps asking, choose your character. It's like,
No.
choose your character, damn it.
It was just like the loading screen of just like the cars driving, like the demo screen or whatever. Was just sitting there being like, I'm doing great, right? And everyone's like, yeah, you're doing great, man.
Insert token.
Yeah, exactly. The free to play too, by the way. Like I could have just hit start and had the game go. Nope.
I've had those days.
Yeah,
and I've had
exactly.
those days sober, and that's even worse. All right. We should probably talk baseball next, right?
Yeah, let's talk some baseball.
We're going to talk some World Series coming up next here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is your home for sports. Sports is like life. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
High school sports is here, and SportsTownChicago.com, we are ready to provide the best high school sports live coverage all across Northern Illinois. From the first kickoff of high school football to the final spike of high school volleyball, we at SportsTownChicago.com are ready to bring you high school sports live. SportsTownChicago.com and STC Friday Night Lights in a league of our own.
Oh, yeah. We're back here on Blow the Whistle here on SportsTownChicago.com.
That's right.
Twitch and YouTube. You know who it is. Tyler Butterball, Buterball, and Andrew Pepe Palatine.
There you go.
I almost freaking screwed up your name again.
Because you were trying to do an accent while you were doing it. That's why you think it too much.
Pepe just sounded better than that accent. Pepe.
Andrew Pepe Valentine.
Valentino over there. You know, he's over there.
Not Italian, by the way.
He's not.
I don't know why people keep thinking that.
Are they really?
Yeah, well, listen, I've always told people like I don't get mad when people assume things because you don't know what I am.
Yeah.
But I just like to get annoyed. I like to pretend to be annoyed by it. Like
That's
it's just fun because just people are like, so you're
I just more
Greek, Italian. I'm like, no.
See, I more just get annoyed when people think like Brad Williams is my dad or I am Brad Williams.
Yeah, see,
I'm just
that,
I'm like,
yeah.
no, I wouldn't be here doing. I wouldn't be sitting
You
on
living in a really nice house in California.
Like some guy asked me on the blue line, like, "Are you the guy from YouTube?" I'm like, "No, probably not." And I'm just like, "Why would I be riding the blue line if I'm some YouTube sensation?"
Yo, are you that dude? Nah, I'm not that dude. See, you lied to me, man.
I know. That's why I love it. Like, are you sure? It's like, oh wait, I don't know. Am I? Let me go check my birth certificate.
That's one of my favorite like George Lopez bits I saw him do once in a comedy. He's like, he had some guy come up to him and he goes, "Hey man, you Joe Lopez?" He goes, "No, I'm George Lopez." And the guy goes, "Why?" You see why you're lying to me? Like he's yelling at his friends and stuff.
That's literally how it is.
Yeah.
I just love it when they're like, "No, yeah, you are." I'm
No.
like, why would I say no?
Yeah, that's the best one. Yes, you are. What do you? Yes, you caught me. I'm lying to you.
I'm like, do I
Wait.
gotta show you my ID?
Right,
I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Why do I gotta prove it to
Like,
you?
what the hell? You guys are idiots.
Or what was it, the Tom Segura bit where he's like, wait, Segura? He's like Japanese. The guy, Segura. And it's
Segura.
It's like, because you're saying it Japanese, dude.
Doesn't make it Japanese.
It's Spanish. Oh, so you're Mexican? No, I'm white. I don't get it.
I know. I love it.
That's,
Like,
that's where I come with people. They're like, "Oh, so you're Puerto Rican, so you're Hispanic," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I'm also white." And they're like, "What?" And they're like, they don't seem to process like that's a thing.
they're like, they make those.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
Great. Okay.
Cultural idiocracy at its best.
I love calling them out though, because I mean,
It's funny, dude. It's just like watching the brain just like go like trying to understand it.
sound like the Windows computer
Yeah,
restarting.
exactly. Beep. The Apple computer.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got blue screened. Oh
Okay.
boy.
All right, we should probably talk baseball.
Yeah, let's
All
talk
right,
baseball.
All right, enough of football. We had enough of depression this weekend.
Yeah, seriously.
So, World Series started, of course. Dodgers are up in the series 2-0. If you guys missed Friday's game, you missed out on so much. I know we're like backdating right now, but oh my god! I mean,
baseball at its finest.
This is and so I said this on Gabe Ramirez's show on 6 a.m. The Score, and I don't think he was expecting me to say it, and I don't think anyone else would have expected me to say it.
Yeah.
But obviously, you guys know I love football. I love basketball. I'm starting to come around on baseball. Like it's never been my sport, but I admitted that playoff baseball is probably my favorite set of play. I mean, obviously not including March Madness. That's my baby.
Yes.
But playoff baseball is another freaking level.
It's fantastic.
Every pitch matters, and that's why I get so into it, because it's like I would rather watch a playoff baseball game than the Cubs or the White Sox. At least this past year.
That's fair.
Except I was watching the White Sox to try to break history here, because that was fun.
Yeah, of course.
But no. So in game one, Yankees take the lead, top of the ninth, and they intentionally walk. Who do they intentionally walk? Oh no, that was a different play.
Yeah, that
No,
was
they did it.
different.
Yeah, that was a
setting
different.
on
But
that one.
anyways, Freddie Freeman's up the bat.
Yeah,
and they do a pitching change, and first pitch just goes yard, walk off grand slam.
Oh,
it was the craziest and like wild scene from LA.
Poor Cousins.
I know, and that's Kirk Cousins' cousin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kurt's not happy with you.
No, he's like, what the frick?
What my parlay?
What the heck, man? I'm so peeved.
What the fluffer nutter?
What the fluffer nutter? All right, I'm sorry. But then, in Saturday night's game, Dodgers take game 2, 4-2.
That's where they walked. That's where they walked. They walked Soto to get to Judge.
Rightfully so. I mean,
if
you look, Judge, if you guys aren't unaware, Aaron Judge in the postseason, he is hitting 640 home runs and struck 19 times. He is scared of postseason.
He he just wants to try to hit a home run so badly. It feels like,
and that's the problem. Like obviously he's a home run king, but
yeah, of course.
You gotta set up your guys for something. You can't just go freaking swing at the fences.
That's the like what was it? Was it Yamamoto I was watching where it was him and Yamamoto.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching Yamamoto pitching to him. And he's hitting him outside on the first pitch. And then all of a sudden, what Judge is doing with his bat is just swinging up like it's a golf club.
Javi Baez isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Just
like
swinging.
he is just going for it because he wants that ball to be launched.
Mm-hmm.
Totally get it. You want to get yourself back in the game and everything. And he's the catalyst. He's the starter. He's the captain, right?
Right.
You're the guy that's in charge of leading this team. But you are getting worked. At the moment he swung at that first pitch and he misses it, and it's like a curveball that just dropped off. The moment that happened, I went, he's got him. Yamamoto's got him because he's just chucking that head of the bat at the ball, hoping he makes contact. And sure enough, what does Aaron Judge do? He goes down swinging.
Yep.
Because he's trying his best to try and crank that ball out. And it's you can't do that against this team. They're going to pick you apart.
It is. I mean,
especially against Yamamoto.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Yamamoto has been playing. He's been pitching really well.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But yeah,
he works the plate very well. That's the thing that's why you pay him that much money to be a Dodger.
And so, I mean, where was I going with this?
Yankees stink. Yeah, of course they stink.
Yeah, they don't look good. And I mean,
they're looking rough. It wasn't for Stanton kind of having the postseason he did. I don't know where they would be right now.
If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be here.
Oh,
it would be.
He saved them.
It would be Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
And who knows? This might be more competitive. I don't know.
I wanted the Tigers so bad.
Well, a lot of people did.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Detroit. Just everything, except for the Pistons.
Right? Yeah, of course.
They can kick rocks.
Exactly. Well, no, we want them to be good. So then the Bulls are bad. So then the Bulls get the top pick
and get that. And then what's his name from Duke?
Get Cooper Flag.
Yeah, dude.
Because they just scored 104 points or whatever against Arizona State.
Speaking of the Bulls, I'm going to hammer the freaking under on their total wins.
Please, guys, please. If you want me to stay a Bulls fan, you better get Cooper Flag. You don't. I'm going.
We need to get
I love the fact there's a scenario where Oklahoma City could still get Cooper Flag.
Is it because of all those trades?
Because of the Clippers pick that they have. They have the first round pick from the Clippers, and the Clippers don't make the playoffs. That could be a lottery pick, and that could possibly be the number one pick. And they can get Cooper Flag on top of everything else they've got.
I would hate everything.
Or there's a possibility too where the Spurs are still so bad that they could get Cooper Flag too to pair with Wembanyama.
Oh my God.
I'm a Spurs fan at that point.
Honestly,
I switch.
I might have to switch over there.
Yeah, I call it at that point.
I'm so pissed off. But let's go back to to this. So now that the Yankees are back at home tonight, 7:08 first pitch. You got Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. You got is it Carson Schmidt?
Clark Schmidt.
My bad.
Yeah. Which Buehler should win that matchup, but he's just been so off his game lately. I just don't.
He's got a 6 ERA. He's 0-1 in the postseason. What other stats I got here? He's only got 6 strikeouts. I mean, Schmidt hasn't been that well either. He hasn't started at all. Or no, he just never got. Has he started over the postseason? He had to have.
He's played in the postseason, as a starter, so he's been there. It's just
undecided.
Yeah, he's just been an undecided kind of guy. I mean, he does okay, but he's not. I mean, I think Buehler's the better pitcher, but the problem the Yankees are having is that their stars aren't hitting.
No, I mean, you also got Juan Soto on that team.
Yeah, exactly. Like you need those guys to start like this is going to be a hit for hit kind of a World Series. It should be, and where the Dodgers right now are catching fire, be it Freeman or Betts, and obviously Ohtani's day to day. Of course, I mean that's a pretty significant thing. But he's like, I'm playing through it.
Yeah,
like that dude wants a ring. This is a great time to get your ring. Like, and so he's going for it. So okay, and then you've got my man Kike Hernandez, baby, coming through.
He's playing good too. I mean, it's that's a huge thing for LA. Like if they lost Ohtani, then I would say this is more up for grabs.
No, yeah, it evens the playing field more. But considering how bad the Yankees have played to this point, like I would still say, okay, but right now, Freeman right now is World Series MVP
easily.
100% head and above. I mean, Kike, I would say, and Betts are good supporting roles that will be there too. This Dodgers team is just loaded with talent. Even the lesser, like Nick said a long time ago, the lesser talent are guys that are even stepping up too. You see it with Lux and you see it with Smith. Those dudes are coming through. Yankees don't have that.
No.
And that's the problem. You need your stars in New York to perform, and you better do it at home.
You need to.
You go down 3-0 in this series. I don't know how. I mean, the Netflix series came out with the Red Sox winning in the ALCS. Their unbelievable 3-0 comeback against the Yankees in 2004. But this is the World Series, not the ALCS. This is a World Series.
This is do or die.
You lose in 4 games at home in Yankee Stadium. How many Yankee fans are never going to let you live that down?
Oh no, this will be.
Where's your career? Where's your career at?
At that point, would you, if you were the Yankees, would you have to kind of blow it up?
The problem is that Steinbrenner loves Brian Cashman. I understand, and Brian Cashman's a really solid general manager.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much he would blow this team up. But I think you would have to consider, like, okay, look, Stanton's going to have to retire.
Yeah.
Like, force him to, or you're going to have to cut the losses.
Yeah.
You're going to have to try and bring in the young talent where you can, and you're going to have to start signing big checks.
Yeah.
If you want to compete with this Dodgers team, and you want to compete with the Padres, and you want to compete with the Phillies, and you want to stay with those teams, you have to get guys who can come in the postseason and perform.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to have to probably poach from, my guess is you're going to have to poach from like the Astros. You're going to have to poach from the Guardians. You're going to have to go throughout the entire American League probably and start spotting guys that you can kind of pick and poke from.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like National League, yes, too, but like the American League is where you should start looking at, because how many teams are at the bottom right now where you can kind of go, what if we offer something for Luis Robert? Or what if we offer this and that for, Ramirez? Or what if we offer this and that for Altuve? Like, guys who can be impact players for your team, not just now, but in the playoffs.
I mean, I doubt it. They would knock the door next over, but Pete Alonso.
Why not talk to the Mets? Now, I don't think they're going to get rid of anybody, but they're going to have to start signing checks too. And Pete Alonso's going to be available. Do you maybe go for him and say, look, we need a first baseman or at least a DH guy?
Because the Cubs ain't going to go for him.
Well, we don't know that. But Pete's a one-shot kind of wonder. Nothing against his defense. No disrespect, but seems to be my thing today. But he's just a swing for the fences and knock it out of the ballpark, which you need.
I'm gonna get Scotty to clip all the times that you said no disrespect.
This is gonna be that show. Like, no disrespect.
Good on the reels.
Which
we can't do that.
I don't know. I don't think this Yankee team just has enough, unless somebody like Gleyber Torres or somebody's gonna have to come out of the woodwork and start popping them off, playing well, because
they need to win both games at home.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because if Dodgers clearly can easily win, back at home, I mean, it's going to be tough.
That's the problem. You win one of these games. You
still got to go back to LA.
You got to go back to Los Angeles down 3-1. You can't have that,
because it goes 2-2, 1-1-1, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to win too, because you can win one, and then you lose the next one, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You're going back to LA, and they can win it right there in LA.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, shoot. I mean, we could make our predictions, because this could end by the time Friday hits.
I mean, I'm going to say Dodgers in 5 at this point.
I got to say Dodgers in 5 as well.
I want to really say clean sweep, because I think that would be funny for them to win in New York. I think the Yankees will get one. Like Bueller may have a bad night tonight. Like you said, he's not done very well. So, but at the same time, if my thing is thinking like Shohei is going to have that Kirk Gibson moment, for those that don't remember, even though Freddie Freeman did the Kirk Gibson thing, which was cool. Yeah. That was cool, because it was a walk-off grand slam, and that's a historical moment, of course.
Sick.
But Shohei's playing through injury, which was what Kirk Gibson did. He played through injury. I think he had a bum leg or something like that. His knee was bad or something, and he still knocked that ball out of the park. I feel like this could be Ohtani's moment to do that in New York, where he just takes that ball, goes yard, as his shoulder's hurting, but he still finds a way to make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree.
And that's the thing. If it's not him, it's Betts. If it's not Betts, it's Hernandez. If it's not Hernandez, it's Freeman. If it's not Freeman, it could be anybody. And that's the issue, is that you can count on the guys in the Dodgers. The Yankees right now, you better hope and pray
that's the
that
thing.
they get out of their slumps.
Like with Judge not hitting it and Juan Soto doing meh, like that's a bad look. Those are your two guys right there.
Right.
And
do you want to keep Juan Soto? Because you better start performing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're a favorite tonight. 1.5 on the run line, minus 150 money line. I mean, I might take them to win tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they'll get their head out of their keisters and pull off a win. Because I mean, LA's riding high right now, but then you got to make a statement at home. But if they lose tonight, it's over. I still think Yankees Dodgers in 5.
You can't go if you go 3-0 in this. Your second game at home, you can win that, but I don't see it happening.
No,
that's when the air comes out of the bubble. I think for the Yankees, which is rare, obviously, because they've usually been the ones taking the air out of everybody.
Right. But I mean, in baseball, it's tough to come down. 3-0.
Yeah. This is the game, folks. This is how this goes. This is why playoff baseball's so great.
I love it.
It's fan, like Gabe said, and you've said, and a lot of people have said, this is why people live for this. The regular season, whatever. Playoff baseball hits. Let's go.
Yeah, after seeing how crappy Sunday night, or I keep saying Sunday night. God, Monday night's game is. I was probably gonna have this on anyways. Unless it would have had been a really good Monday night matchup.
What day is it?
I don't even know, man. What month is it? Is it Halloween yet?
No.
God. Gobble, gobble. All right. No, that's what I'm gonna have on because I don't care to watch the Bulls either.
I mean, come on. This is the game of the week. Like, there's something here for everybody. Don't get us wrong. Like, you want to watch sports tonight. This is the equinox where every sport's playing at this point. So go crazy, folks. But like, I think most people will probably be watching this baseball game. It's in New York. It's the Dodgers. It's the Yankees. It's game 3. This is kind of like money's on the line for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to take it?
And that's the thing. Here, put you guys in perspective. What are you going to watch? You're going to watch this, which is like exactly how Andrew described it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to watch Daniel Jones poo-poo on himself, or do you want to see the Bulls blow a lead? As they always do. It's up to you. You guys decide.
Can beat Milwaukee. You can't. Who are they playing against tonight?
Memphis.
Yeah, you can't beat Milwaukee. We'll probably get smoked by Memphis. Watch.
Oh, yeah. Edie. Well, it's
in
up
fairness,
in the air.
though, Memphis, it looks like
John might not play.
Yeah, that's true.
But Edie's going to bully the hell out of Vucevic.
But Milwaukee looks like they're. We're going to get into the NBA.
Yeah.
Because I got Darvin Ham plus Doc Rivers. Boy, what a coaching combo you got right there. I'm sure Giannis right now is just like, okay, so
someone compared him to Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, right. So where else can I go?
Oh,
Dame, Milwaukee's been fun, but I'm leaving.
I'm out of here.
Wait, where are you going? I left Portland for you.
Take me with you.
Exactly.
All right, fellas, and fellas, it's only us two.
Yeah.
But
hi guys, that's right.
Oh, that's right. You guys didn't show. That wraps up our baseball talk. Please tune in to that game. It's gonna be fantastic.
Absolutely.
And that wraps up us on Blow the Whistle today.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. We had a handful of people coming in. Nick and Keem Baymack, always love that you guys chiming in. Hey Nick, next time come in the studio. No, I'm just kidding.
We know you're busy, homie.
No. I understand how it is. I've had to. I still balance a bunch of jobs, so
same.
Totally get how it is. So no worries about that. David, hope you feel better.
Yeah.
If you guys missed today's episode, shame on you. But like I said earlier, exactly. No. You can find us on all podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio, not QuadPod, because QuadPod didn't pay their bills.
No.
So, but thank you all for listening. We'll be back on Friday, same bat time, maybe a little earlier. We'll see. We don't know. For myself, Tyler Butterball Beaterball,
Andrew Pepe Valentin.
This has been another wonderful episode of Blow the Whistle. Everyone stay positive, be positive, surround yourself with positivity, and have a great rest of the week.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
And happy Halloween. Don't let the Bears from yesterday ruin your week, okay? Because I'm not gonna let it ruin mine.
I really thought you were gonna be like, "Don't let the Bears eat you," and I was like, "What?" Don't let I don't know why. I'm like, going. He's like, "Is he gonna say don't get eaten by bears?" I'm
Watch
like,
out for the bears.
I don't know why my brain went there, but there we go. That's where I'm at.
If you're going to the zoo, then watch out for the bears. But
Yeah,
you won't see much.
Don't get drunk at the zoo and fall in the bear pit.
Unless we got like some mountain listeners, then you might want to watch out for bears. But you guys
do that. Don't listen to the show. Watch out for bears.
Watch out for bears. Why?
Don't be like, I'm listening to Blow the Whistle. How?
Well, no, don't watch us on Twitch. Keep your eye out for bears. You can listen to us on any podcast platform.
Some guy dies in the woods, and all they find is the phone with our show up on it.
Yeah, then we got 911 calling us. You guys know about this? No. Listen back. I told them watch out for bears.
We gave the exclusive, trademark.
We gave the disclaimer.
Yeah, we gave the disclaimer out there. So
the watch out for bears disclaimer. All right, let's wrap this up. This has been Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is your home for Chicago.com.